out there with the starting unit? Do you feel better than last time?
Yeah, definitely. Scoring points, always feels better. First drive, I definitely want that third down ball back. There's probably 3 or 4 balls I want back. But man, I thought for not being perfect, I thought we moved the ball, converted third downs and scored points. And, I think that's, says something in this league when things aren't going just exactly the way you want to, still being able to put drives together and score some points, I think is important.
Case, was there a moment where you could finally exhale when you get the pass to Deshaun? And then on that drive, I think you had passes to 6 different guys that you finally feel like, okay, take a deep breath, and it felt.
Well, it felt like football again at that point. It felt like how we've been performing and making plays in practice. So it was good to have that come out on that field, and it felt good to put the ball in the end zone.
Case, what sort of weapon can Cortland be on those deep balls, whether it's catching it or drawing a pass interference?
Yeah, he's special. Having a guy like that, a young guy who's, pretty headsy when it comes as far as those balls that, you give him a chance and really there's, 3 or 4 things that can happen and a lot of them are good. He can catch it, he can, go for it and get a defensive pass interference or it's incomplete, and I know that it's going to be incomplete or, at worst. So I like throwing him the ball down the field because he makes a lot more of those plays than he doesn't.
Case, I know you haven't played a full game yet, but you've been in Denver a little bit now. Have you pushed yourself enough to feel any effects of altitude or how that might affect you?
The first couple weeks in the spring when I was here and I was on the 3rd floor of the hotel and not taking the elevator, that got me pretty good for the first couple weeks. But, I think, I've gotten used to it now. I think our guys are from training camp. I think we're all, doing a good job getting in shape. I think it's gonna affect people. I've come in as a opposing team and played here before and felt the effects of it. So I know it'll help us.
Case, what was the biggest difference from last week to this week?
We executed. I think finally got into a rhythm. It's hard to say. There's a lot of things. Last week there were so few things to draw from. There's still plays that I want back, this week and plays that I think we can hit and I know we can hit. But, we converted on third downs. I don't know what we were for the game, but I think maybe over 50%. So, all the groups I think did really well staying on the field.
We hadn't seen much of Jeff Hireman, but tonight it seemed like he was critical kind of getting things going. Did you notice that back in OTAs that there might be something there with him?
Yeah, Jeff's a good player. And he did not want to be tackled tonight. And, that's nice when you throw him, a ball in the flat and it winds up being a 13-yard gain or a 12-yard gain, just throwing people off of him. And I think he had a lot of pent-up, being out for the last couple of weeks. It was nice to have him back out there, even on the 2-point conversion, So he had a, bunch of catches tonight, and I'm excited to continue that, chemistry with the tight end position there, especially with Jeff.
Case, you targeted Emmanuel Sanders 7 times in this game. How important was it to get him into this game early, just get him into the flow?
Well, he helps me get into the flow because he gets open. And, we've talked a lot about a lot of different routes and concepts that he's really good at, and I like throwing him the football. So I think it's going to be a special year for him, and I'm excited to be a part of it.